It's Thursday morning, and it's time for Tech for Seniors Live, where technology gets its deserved deep dive. This isn't happening via Zoom, so we can't see who's joining the show. So please sign in to the chat box below as we gather around the screen, both far and wide, with curiosity as our ever-trusty guide. We'll navigate the digital seas, a knowledgeable crew, exploring all the tech tips, both old and new. No need for cameras, no need for dress. Just bring your questions and we'll address. From gadgets to apps and all the tech lore, we're here to help, to teach, and much more. So type away in the chat. Don't be shy. Our tech-savvy hosts are here to reply. It's Thursday morning. Let the tech talk flow at the Tech for Seniors Live, the best tech show.
Good morning. I'm Ron Brown. This is Tech for Senior Live. This is March the 21st, and we have a great show for you today. We're going to have lots of news of the week, and we have a special guest today, Bill James. I'll be introducing everybody in just one moment. So you're probably wondering who the heck we are. Well, we're a group of seniors who like to talk about technology. And we decided we actually have a Monday show. If you haven't visited us, please come and have a look at our Monday show. I'll put let's just put up here. This is our website, www.tech4senior. You can certainly go to our website. It'll give you all the information because our Monday show is a Zoom meeting. You log in and we can socialize, and we actually have quite a nice time. And we've been doing it. Coming up, this will be our 5th year. Our very 5th year we've been doing it. So we have a lot of fun, big following. And so please, it's a lot of fun. Now, for those of you who are logging in, as I look over to the left, I look over and I can see there are some people logging into our Zoom account. This show is not a Zoom meeting. This show is broadcast live through StreamYard out to, of course, YouTube and Facebook. So if you are over on our Zoom side, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. We'll see you Monday. So you need to either go to our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, and then you can follow along. But the other thing that's really important is that we can't see you. We don't know that you're out there, so we could just be talking to ourselves. So we would really appreciate it if you could put a note in the chat and say where you're from any questions you have, how you're doing, that would be great. And also that like and subscribe would be really cool. If you could do that, that'd be really neat. So if you like and subscribe, that would be great. So if you put that in there, and we'll go through it and acknowledge everybody in just one moment. For those of you who haven't are wondering how you can keep more closely aligned with what we're doing and keep up with all the things that we do, subscribe to our newsletter. It's also, again, on our website. Just click the subscribe button there in our newsletter and subscribe to it. And then we'll be sending you all the information of all the things that we do through the week. So be sure and do that. All right, let me introduce everyone today. This is first of all, a man who needs little introduction. He's far away from me because, of course, I'm in this little island off the west coast of Vancouver, or west coast of Canada, called Vancouver Island, in this little community called Comox. And that's a long way from the other side of the world, in a little place called Florida, in another country called the United States, and a little town called Bradenton. So that's where Huey is, and that's a long way away. But through the modern marvels of technology, we can talk to each other, right, Huey? Can you hear me?
I hear
your
you.
hearing aid on.
Yeah. Where's the can with the string? It's a long string.
It's a long string, yes. So, yes, anyway, hey, we're coming up to year 5 next. Actually, that'll be this coming Monday. We'll have a big celebration, eh?
Yep. I celebrate every day. So
maybe we'll have to buy some champagne and have a champagne toast on Monday.
I'm still trying to recover from Tuesday. I'm a poll worker, and we had the presidential primary here in Florida.
All right.
And so I had to I had to be there at 6:30 in the morning, and actually 6 o'clock in the morning. And I was there until about 7:30 at night. And we had all of 35 people vote. So it was a long day.
A long day, right? I hear you caught up on your email.
I did. Well, no, I didn't. There's still 2,000 emails in my inbox. I'm trying to work. I can't get ahead of it. I read one and I've got 5 more in. All these newsletters that I subscribe to. And I've got to read them to learn what's going on. So
I know. Well, and then, of course, let me talk about the next person who, of course, has been with us since the show started. He's, how will I describe this individual? He's a security expert. He's a very nice man. He used to be a boxer, so we have him in charge of keeping the bad guys out of our show. He does a very good job with that, so don't ruffle his feathers. But a man of many talents who has, who's a prolific producer of YouTube videos on all topics, including security. That, of course, would be Mr. Bob Gustisha from Los Lunas, New Mexico.
Good morning.
How you doing, Bob?
I'm doing very well. Happy to see that we're finally getting towards spring.
Yeah, my tulips are coming up. So it's nice to see. And so that's spring is always nice.
I just thought you folks might want to know, I got a news flash on my phone that says Uncle Sam is suing Apple.
Really?
Yeah. We'll have to see where that one goes.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah. Oh, we'll probably talk about that later in the day. Yeah, that's really interesting. All right, we'll see. And of course, a man who I call ambidextrous, not ambidextrous, multidextrous. That's right. I call him multidextrous because he is, of course, Mr. Bill James from Oklahoma City, but he also has been with our show for a very long time. But he talks on Apple operating systems, Mac operating systems, all sorts of different operating systems. He's so smart, and he does tutorials for us and tips. He does Mac tips and Windows tips on our show. A very popular segment. He's so busy he can only come once a month on our show. So we are extremely privileged today to have Bill James from Oklahoma City.
Thanks, Ron. That's very kind. I almost didn't make it today. I kind of got confused about a lot of things. I don't know what it started raining this morning. Had a nice rain, and that threw me off kilter because I was trying to get the dogs gathered to take them to the groomer, and I sent them outside to do their business. They didn't want to do that, and so anyway, gathered them
Well,
up.
you're here. You're here.
I'm here. Yes,
You're here. Yeah.
and the dogs are getting their baths.
There you go. There you go.
But my computer club here in Oklahoma City that was having their meeting this morning, when I'm not there, things kind of go downhill, which I've been trying to rectify that.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
So anyway.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Huey, is there anyone out there listening to us?
Oh, gosh, yes. We got a whole bunch today.
Really? Okay. A surprise.
Yeah.
Ed says, sunny in central New Jersey. Welcome, Ed. Bernardo from Sterling
Bernard.
Heights. Bernard from Sterling Heights Computer Club, Detroit, Michigan. 26 degrees and cold outside. You're kidding. Gee, I thought winter was over. Wow, that's cold. Mike Lehman in Moncton, New Brunswick, where it's just above freezing with snow flurries. You got to be kidding. I guess the rest of the world is still in winter. Right? Steve Powell, Kirkland, Washington, 46 degrees and overcast. Mike Saunders, 15 degrees Celsius, Chesham, United Kingdom. Yes, Mike, thank you. Mike, of course, is listening to us a long way away. Thank you, Mike. What time is it there, Mike? John says, Rick, Tacoma, Washington, hopefully back to San Diego. Too old for cold. Yeah. Dick Vogel, sunny, 72 degrees in Sanford, Florida.
Yeah, it was 58 early this morning, and it was 70 just before the show went on.
Don't you usually complain unless it's over 80? I thought you.
I had the heat. I had the heat on this morning.
Yeah,
and it's still going. And it's going to 80 today. So I'll have to switch it to air conditioning here in a few minutes.
All right. Is that it?
No. We got more. Oh, here we go.
Oh, Michael Daniels. Well, thank you for the support, Michael. I don't get to watch often, but wanted to say hello and donate to the cause. I appreciate what you folks do. Michael, of course, is a very good friend of ours. He has his own community, and he does a lot of very great videos. He has a big YouTube channel, and often comes and listens to us. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for listening, Michael. Thanks for the donation. Jolin says hi. Oh, Jolin's here. Hi, Michael. And Deb says Clearwater, Dunedin, Florida. Yay. Stan's here. Hello, Stan. Hello for Orlando. Sunny and 80 forecast for later. Just down the road from Huey. Bob Baxter, Washington, 47 degrees, clouds and rain tomorrow. Yep, it's going to rain for the next few days. Sally's hi from Kirkland, Washington. Hi, all. And Brian, chilly and sunny, 24 degrees in Peterborough, Canada. I guess the central part is really, really cold still. Brian says sunny, 24 degrees in Peterborough, Canada.
And that's it.
That's it. Wow. So it's still parts of the world are pretty cold.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on with the news. That's what people came to listen about, right? So I wanted to talk. Let me get my organized here. Let me come down. So the first one I wanted to talk about, and this is very interesting. This is the article. Security News this week. Automakers are telling your insurance company how you really drive. Okay. Now, so what's all this about? Well, this is an interesting story about that was published earlier this week in the Washington Times. And this has to do with General Motors and OnStar and the collection of your data, which they sold to the insurance companies. And in some cases, people's had their insurance companies, their insurance rates double or triple. And this created a big stink. And there's been a lot of articles written about, but it all originated from this New York Times article. Now, the so so there is a big backlash on this. Like there is like a lot of people angry. They're selling their General Motors cars. There's a class action lawsuit starting against General Motors on, and there's even the federal government is looking at privacy violations and all that sort of stuff. So there's a big storm in the teapot about this. All right. So we're going to come down. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, but I wanted just to give you one more thing about this story. Now I wanted to go to I don't know, you probably can't see this, but many of you know that I listen to Leo Laporte all the time, and for many years he's had a man on there whose name is Sam Abdul Samad, and he's the principal analyst, leading guy. He's the principal analyst at Guidehouse Insights e-mobility research, and they do research on all sorts of things related to automobiles. He's actually an engineer. He's been a reporter, and he works with the car industry. And he does. I put his bio up there. You can read it. But he's a very interesting man, and he comes on Leo Laporte and talks all the time. Now he's very knowledgeable because he works with the car industry. But so this is not a new story. That's the reason I'm getting to this. This isn't a new story at all. In fact, I remember 2 years ago when he was talking about, you all remember it, we even talked about it, about the BMW story, about how BMW brought in a very unpopular program where you could rent your air conditioning. You paid by the month. Do you remember that story? Where you bought the car and it had all these features in it. But if you wanted air conditioning, well, you rented that per month. Maybe it's $80 a month, and you would pay per. So you don't have to have it for the whole year. Maybe if you just wanted air conditioning for 2 months, you just paid for 2 months. You want a heated seat, you pay it for so many months. You want a radio, you pay it for so much. They had all these services on there, and your car was always completely connected to BMW because of all the software and all the computer stuff that's happening there. So the concept of keeping in touch with you and trying to sell you some further service, there was a lot of talk about. And what Sam said in the theory behind the automobiles are, as you know, the automobiles are having harder and harder times making money, the companies that make these things. So their future, the look for them in the future is they may not make much on the cars, but the tracking of your data and the data that they sell is worth a lot of money, like way more than any profits they're going to get on the car. So they're very interested in creating this link between them and you and collection of your data, right? So this is just a follow-up on what happened 2 years ago, is this story with the New York Times. So I guess we're now going to, so this is really interesting, and I don't know how everybody feels about it. I know there's going to be all sorts of issues surrounding this. So General Motors said that you had to agree to it 3 times. In other words, you had to say yes, yes to yes. But of course, when people looked at this, it was like, do you want to set up OnStar? Yes. Do you want to drive this car? Yes. Do you want to? And you said yes 3 times, and then bingo, they've got you, and they can record your data, which of course was a bit weird. So this is really sort of a tempest in the teapot. So what do you think, Huey, about all this? This is like, we've talked so much about Apple and Microsoft getting big fines by the EU for private data release, right? Like, you know, like all the things they're doing. Now your car is sneaking up and capturing all this data. How do you feel about that?
Well, I did a video on it, if you recall. And in fact, what was it, last week, you even put the link to the video that I did on the information that they collect and pass on. And it's a lot of information. You know, you feel that I can sit in my car and talk to myself. Nobody will hear it. Well, that's not true anymore.
No. Well, it knows how fast you're driving, where you're driving to. There was a lady who reported that she was pregnant. She very early on in her pregnancy, she started going to maternity shops, driving there, in her car. And next thing she knows, on her Google was sending her ads for maternity clothes.
Yeah.
So
it's very invasive, and you don't have a lot of control about it.
Yeah, Bob, what do you think? Do you think they're gonna get their hands slapped? I mean, this is a big, what Sam said 2 years ago. He said this is a big movement now. Now even my brand new Toyota, my RAV4 2024, it actually has. I never bought it. It just comes with a SIM card in it, and it's connected to Toyota, right? You can't disconnect it. It's I can. In fact, the app on my phone tracks the car wherever it goes. I mean, I can't turn it off. It's just there. It's collecting wherever I go. It knows where I'm going. I mean, it's just there. So I mean, that's what do you think?
My way to get even is my 2001 Chevy truck.
Yeah, right.
You can't collect what you don't have. Plain and simple. The smarter the cars become, the more information they gather, and the more information is eventually, one way or another, going to get shared.
Right.
Whether it's by design or whether it's by accident. If the information is there somewhere, someone will figure out how to get it and how to use it to make money. Plain and simple. That's what it's all about.
Bill, what about you? Are you worried about this? What's your thoughts on
Not really, because to my knowledge, cars that have been built over the last 10 or 15 years had what's called a little black box, or EDR, and it's been collecting data about how your driving habits. In fact, I'm going to read this. It's called a event data recorder, sometimes refers to as the car's black box, are included in almost every new car. These recorders collect data on your driving behavior in order to record important information during an accident, like the speed the car was going and how fast the airbag was deployed. The use of EDRs is much more limited than the other technology, but they've been doing this for
so this is not new.
No.
Very
that's new with the infotainment centers, infotainment modules that's in your car, is that when you connect your cell phone to it, then it also has access to your location data. So it's collecting more information than
right.
that little black box would. But if I guess here's my feeling: if the information that they send to the insurance companies helps keep the insurance rates down for the people that drive safely, then I'm all for it.
Right. Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
So if these people that, maybe it's a wake up call, is that because here in Oklahoma, it's just a wild west. I mean, we have lots of roads, and people drive, lickety split. If there's a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, they're going to drive 60 or 70.
The Wild West is in Phoenix. Have you ever driven down there? That's crazy. That is the Wild West.
But anyway, that's kind of my feeling. But
okay.
No, I think that it's something that you should be concerned about.
Okay.
But, I don't think I as I told someone before, the issue of privacy is dead, and we just need to get over it.
I like that, Bill. That's right. That's a good one. And I gotta remember that one. All right. That's good. So I got another quick one before we get into the news articles. I wanted to talk a bit about, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Right now, of course, we have the Amazon Spring Sale, and it's March 20th to 25th. And we have a few articles about that we're going to talk about today. But so yes, the sale is on. So what I wanted to let everybody know is this week my Fitbit Sense watch crapped out. I mean, 3 years old now, and you have to remember, if you're buying a smartwatch, it's gonna last about 3 years. Anything over that is just borrowed time, and mine sort of just hit the dust. Now, I just wanted to remind everybody that I bought. And so what did I buy? I bought the same one my wife bought, and I bought the Fitbit Charge 6. Now, I'm not going to go into all the reasons why. I've talked about that many times before, but just to let people know that it's on, and this is the US site, and it's on for $139, and this is the best deal on smartwatches that you can find. And this is the US site. In Canada, it was 169 Canadian. So now the reason if you are interested in a smartwatch that has all the latest cardiac stuff and all the latest stuff on it, that's a really good deal. Now, what I was saying earlier, though, which I've never done this before, folks. This is never happened in my whole life, is when I went to check out and on Amazon, it gives me an option. Do you want an extended warranty for 2 years, which takes it from the first week or first year, then it gives you 2 more years with a company called Asurion. Now, and the nice thing about this was, because of the price drop, it dropped it down to, at least on the Canadian site, it was only $16 to get that extended warranty. And all as I'm saying, if you do decide to get a smartwatch, all the smartwatches have a high degree of not reliable. They and whether it's Apple, whether it's Galaxy, your Samsung Galaxy, or whether it's for sure Fitbit, these are great devices, but they just aren't as reliable as smartphones. They just have the habit of breaking. Talk to Bill James about, or not Bill James, Ray. Talk to Ray. He's been on the show. He's mad at Fitbit. You will find that a lot of these break. So has anyone had an extent and had a claim? I have no idea. Bob, have you ever claimed with it?
I've had a claim, and it was honored with no problems.
Problems, eh?
I just now bought a reconditioned, when somebody else had a problem, and I'm now getting it after it's fixed. But those computers only come with a 90-day warranty. So like you, I bought an extended warranty for 3 years for $50.
Right.
Also Asurion.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, for those who don't know who's Asurion, You Break, I Fix is owned
really?
by Asurion. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I've never had a problem where if the claim was put in, it was immediately honored. Asurion also offers a lifetime warranty, not for $16 like you have. It's a monthly deal, but it covers everything electronic, old, new, or in between. So you pay your monthly fee, and if something breaks, they take care of it.
All right. Listen, we got to get on to the stories. Huey, anybody, any more comments before we get on with the?
Yeah, there are just a few, but let's go ahead and touch them.
Cliff Root, a Longboat Key, Florida. Is Cliff new? Is Cliff?
No. Cliff's been with us for a long time.
Cliff. I just didn't recognize.
And Longboat Key is just west of me. So
okay.
He's right near me.
Welcome, Cliff. Mike Saunders, I lost the chat so late replying to Ron's question about the time in the UK. It's 4:20 p.m. Oh, just before supper. There you go.
Yeah, it's 4 hours difference between me. So it'd be 7 hours difference between you and him.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Steve, do we need tinfoil hats on? Well, I don't know. Maybe we got to paint the top of the car different, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, very interesting. All right. Is that it? Just the two?
That's it. Yep.
Okay. Let me go. Huey, I'm going to start up with we'll use your page here. Do you want to refresh?
I did. I don't know. Bob, do I need to refresh again?
No, you did refresh it.
Okay. Yeah, but I didn't know if you put anything on afterwards.
Nope.
Oh.
All right. I think that's
mine. The rise of AI generated deepfakes in investment scams. By understanding the mechanics behind AI-generated deepfakes in investment scams, we can better arm ourselves against those modern day wolves in sheep's clothing. If you're in investments, be careful. Deepfakes. Now you can't tell the difference between the real stuff and the fake stuff. So be extra careful especially if you're involved in investments. I don't have to worry. I've got nothing to invest. But
Me neither. Yeah.
All right, this is an interesting article that came out this morning. This was
You skipped
regarding.
one.
No, I know. I did. We've already used that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was interesting. As you probably, if you order stuff on Amazon, you'll see that this material, that the plastic that it comes in, this gray plastic, well, this is a very unique plastic, and it's very difficult to actually recycle. And all the recycling stations don't want this. And it's very, very hard to find people to take this to recycle. So they wondered what happened with this stuff when they put it in recycling. And so they put trackers on this. They put a whole bunch of trackers, and they put it inside these bags, and then drop the bags in recycling. And it was very interesting to see where this type of plastic actually ended up. And most of it ended up in the landfill. You can read the article, but it was an interesting idea. I didn't know that though, but this, I guess, if you try to rip it or anything, it's not like a normal, it's really tough. Anyway, it doesn't recycle very well.
It looks like it's made almost like mylar.
Yeah.
Scissors work real well.
Now this was, I was hoping, can you make that a little bit bigger, Huey, or is that?
Oh, you're using mine.
Yeah. Can you just make it a little bit bigger so I can see? Just bring it up a bit.
Okay.
Just make it a bit bigger. Anyway, this was.
Well, I'm on the wrong one here. Hang on.
Never mind. So this is where President Biden announced today, I guess this week, was I think this was $8.9 billion has been awarded to the people chip makers, and particularly Intel, and a large part of that investment is going to my old stomping grounds in Chandler, next to Mesa in Arizona. And I know that Ray frequently goes down there, but that's really going to change the dynamics of that area, because it's going to provide a lot of jobs and a lot of investment over the years to create autonomy on chip manufacturing. So I thought that was an interesting story. I'll have to ask Ray next week about it, but that's a big amount of money put in. This was an art. I think just keep coming down a bit more so I can see the bottom. This was an interesting art. How Target's new membership program stacks up against Amazon and Walmart. We talked a bit about this last week.
Yep.
This is an article. I'm not going to go into all the details of it, but I guess when you look at, of course, we have Amazon, and Bob has been talking a lot about Walmart's program, which I'm really interested in. Bob really likes it, and he's been using it a lot for, I think, Bob, have you actually decided to leave Amazon and just do Walmart now totally?
My renewal doesn't come up until September. So right now I still have both, but I have no intentions of renewing my Amazon.
Right. So and of course Target just started theirs. So it's interesting to see how they're going to duke this out. Some interesting things happen. So have a look at the different choices. If you have choices are always good. So see how you feel about that. And so this is today is the big day in which Reddit goes public, and it's the IPO comes out today, and I think it's starting at about $34 a share. And as I said to Huey and Bill and Bob this morning, I said, all right, you guys, now we were around when the IPO came out for Microsoft, for Apple, and for Amazon. And how many shares did you guys buy? Now, if we'd bought some shares, we would be probably on our super yacht now, floating around the world and watching Tech for Senior on our boat. So I guess the question is this going to be another issue in 5 years' time when we're going to be sitting around saying, when we reported on that 5 years ago, we should have bought some shares. So I don't know. But anyway, this is a big day for Reddit, and their IPO came out today. This is again the sale. Amazon's just having sales all the time now. Amazon's big spring sale could boost revenue by billions. Well, I spent $169.
I'm going to spend almost $600.
Yeah, was that on the sale, Bob? Was it a sale on the sale?
I don't know whether it's part of the sale. And
okay.
As I said, I'm buying a rebuild. So
yeah, okay. I think we got that twice. Just to let people know, if you want to follow along with the articles, just go to our Facebook page and just go to Facebook and type in Tech for Senior, and you'll come up to our page. Now, this is a worrisome one. This news article just came out. This is Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold 4 owners are reporting serious screen flaws, and some models are breaking. And this is a big deal because this is a brand new phone they've got out, and there's not a few. This is a big problem now. So I guess the question is about folding screens. I mean, did Samsung get it right?
if it's breaking, they get.
Yeah. So interesting, eh?
Huey.
Yes. Upcoming Windows 11 Notepad feature will help you write with confidence. Microsoft's upcoming spell checking tool for Notepad will help you express your ideas. There's going to be the ability to have spell check. Also, you can turn on and off the ability to auto create correct.
He froze.
Oh. He froze up.
Oh.
You'll be able to auto create. You'll also eventually be able to create images.
I'll come over here. All right. Bill James, the zebra.
That's just a follow-up for the information.
So there are times you want to.
Oh,
Huey, you're back. You froze up.
Oh.
But we sort of got the gist of what you said. But
yeah, going back anyway, you can turn on and off the spell checking, and you can turn on and off the autocorrect.
Okay. So Bill James, so technically, so what's the article's about technology? Your car is definitely watching you.
yes, and this the Zebra is really an insurance company, so they have kind of a slight bias. But anyway, it was an interesting article. It has a link that will also tell you, give you more information on another article that was written on the same subject. So I just thought I would share that. But that's where I got the information I spoke about this morning.
Right. I guess I'm the same page as you are. Track me all you want, because then I get focus ads on what I'm interested in, right?
Right.
There you go. Bill, this is I got this for your next article on Tuesday. Have you seen the new Dyson vacuum?
I hadn't seen that, but I saw the new mopping version of the stick. I didn't see this.
No, they've got the new version.
Huh?
Yeah, new version of the robotic vacuum, and this is really cool. Now, the
$2,000.
Close. Close, but it's Dyson. I mean, people just buy Dyson because of the name, right? They don't care about the reviews.
Yeah.
Anyway, so anyway, it's interesting. The thing that's different about it is the suction. Apparently, the suction is about 6 times better than anything that has been around so far. The other thing is, it's the thing that's not so nice about it is that it's quite a bit taller than the Roomba, right? So it's really tall,
I
and
see
that's
that.
part of that is it's using the sort of cyclone filtering system that the regular Dyson, vacuums use. So it's their existing technology miniaturized into this device. So and it's not, there's no mopping and there's no bagless, where it doesn't auto empty into an upright stand or anything
Right.
like that.
Well,
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
anyway, that it's just come out. So there's lots of reviews. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos last night on it, and it's Dyson. It's like, if you want to own a Dyson, it's like buying a Mercedes. Do you want to buy a
Right. They've also brought out another Dyson vacuum that is convertible. I mean, it will mop and sweep,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's an upright version.
All right.
I can't remember what they're calling it. It has a strange name.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll have to see.
I will have to look this up.
Yeah, you have to look it up. That'd be a good one for our Tuesday newsletter. As we come down here, oh, this is interesting. Who does anyone out there drive a Tesla?
No.
Does anyone in our audience have a Tesla? If you do, this is interesting because this is a new service called Amber launches Tesla warranty service to help owners of aging EVs. So once the warranty is off your Tesla and you have no warranty, then this is an extended warranty that you can add, and it's designed around Teslas and EVs. So the company's called Amber, and they just launched it. So anyway, I thought it interesting.
Ron, do you know what I thought the battery warranty on the Tesla was like 10 or 15 years, or is that not right?
No, you're probably right. This probably doesn't so much pertain to the battery, but probably the electronics on the car, the other electronics. Right? Because the battery, of course, would be warranted. I think most of the EVs are 10 years. I know the Toyota is 10 years, but I think that the actual electronics in the car, the other features, I think is 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So this would give you an extended warranty on that. So whether that's, if you have a car, that's something you might.
One of the other things, and this is not included in that article, but Tesla has allowed Ford and Rivian now to use a special adapter to
charge into their system.
Use their superchargers.
Yeah, and I think with Ford, you got a free adapter up until a certain date. I'm not sure if it was July 1st
or June 30th.
June 30th. Then you got
just announced theirs, but they didn't give a specific date of when they were going to stop offering the free adapters. But It seems like that charger that Tesla has for the Tesla superchargers is going to become the universal one, across the entire field. So most cars in the near future will have the Tesla charging port that you can use the Tesla superchargers. Because I guess that other company, Electrify America, they're going to make this big expansion, but they are lagging behind in putting out new charger farms. So Tesla has, their structure, their infrastructure has just really gained popularity, and they're just everywhere.
Right.
And they're quite large. They usually have 15 to 20 bays when they build those.
Right. Now the next one, of course, this is there's two big news stories this week with Gemini, which of course is Google's AI. And the first news story, which is not this, but it's coming up, is Apple's has now said, hey, we're just going to use Gemini instead of developing our own AI. And so there's a relationship between Google and Apple, and that's big news this week. But the other big news about Gemini was Google got hit with another $270 million fine in France as the authority finds news publishers' data was used for making Gemini. And this is not unusual because, of course, as even OpenAI has had problems with lawsuits regarding that, is when they created these language models, these models, they of course use data, and it's if it was used, so then there would be copy and proprietary effects on that. So this is one of the this was a news article, of course, on that. And so
eventually, if you want this thing to work properly, those proprietary things need to go away. Sorry, if it's out there, if it's news, I don't care what it is. If you expect AI to really become efficient, it has to have access to information. You can't say this is proprietary. What happens to all the videos I produce? Stuff gets used. That's just tough.
Totally agree with you, Bob.
Yep. You know, and it's the government that is fining these companies. The person whose data is actually being used really doesn't see any of that.
Yeah, and also a lot of the news companies are making deals with the chat people, depending on which one, whether it be Gemini or any of the others out there. They're making deals so that they've got money. They're getting paid for the use of that information.
So, Bob, AI cybercrime is not so funny business. Is this your new video you have out?
It's another video, correct.
Oh, okay. Very good. Let's come down here.
I do produce a couple of videos.
You do indeed. All right. This is, of course, NVIDIA, of course, his name is Jensen Huang, says AI, he was giving a big talk, and AI hallucinations are solvable. Artificial general intelligence is about 5 years away. And so he was giving a talk at one of the big conferences, and he was the guest speaker. It's an interesting article if you want to have a listen to what he has to say. He's a very intelligent man.
AGI, or artificial general intelligence, is what they're all shooting for, and that's supposed to be comparable to how humans think. And right now, nobody is even close to AGI, but Open GPT or Open AI is trying to get to it first.
Right. But it won't get there if it doesn't have access to information.
Yep. That follows Bob's comment.
Right. Huey, do we have any, should we do, we're in the last 15 minutes. Do we have any comments that we want to deal with?
Just a couple.
John said, I like the new notepad. Opens RTF and TXT files easily and offers tabs and saves them. It's rather a nice update. Okay, thank you, John. Interesting.
And Mike Saunders from the UK says,
getting focused ads on something you've just bought is very annoying. Well, maybe you find a better deal. Maybe you'll get those ads and you say, I got to take it back because I'll get a better deal. Yes, indeed. All right. Is that it then, Huey? We're caught up?
Yep.
Okay. Let's come down. The Pixel 8 is coming out. I expect it'll probably be Google's I/O event, I think, is in May. So I expect everyone sort of expects the 8A will be released in May. If you are looking for a new phone, you may consider this. There will be lots of interesting features about this, and we'll be covering the Google's I/O event when they do release it. So
and I don't know if we've got an article posted on it or not, but we're pretty close to Apple announcing new iPads and iPad Air and iPad Pros, and and there's probably going to be a slight increase in the pricing, but they should be coming out in the next couple of months too, or being announced anyway.
Seems like we announced the same stuff last year.
Yep.
Yeah, we did. Now, the other thing is that I keep saying every day or every show that we do, if you do, you should constantly, every 3 or 4 months, be looking at your internet service, your phone service, and your home phone service, looking at the changes that are occurring. I'm just switching this weekend from cable to fiber because it's saving me $150 a month. My bill is going from $245 down to $97. So please, please, please keep watching and looking at the deals. Now, here's a deal. T-Mobile's fiber home internet service. This is fiber, maybe about to come to 3 new states, and it's investing $1 billion. Now, I'm not going to go into the article to find the states. You can read the article. But again, they're putting fiber in a big way, spending $1 billion on fiber. You can bet they're going to want to sign people up, right? So
but not in Meadow Lake.
Not in Meadow Lake. Right? Where's Meadow Lake, Bob?
I'm paying the same price you are to Comcast, but I don't have gigabit service.
Yeah, so anyway, just keep looking because it's coming. Now this is very interesting. This was no, I didn't know this. Have you guys heard of virtual credit cards?
I used a Bank of America virtual card and Discovers for years, and then they went away. I'm not sure if they came back with them or not.
Well, this was a recent Kim Commando article, and she talked all about just this week, and she talked all about virtual cards. And I, like Huey, had forgotten about these. And what a virtual card is basically it's an intermediary between your credit card and the credit card that. So when you go, it's exactly the same as tap and pay on your phone. When you look at the tap and pay that you have, like Google Wallet on your phone, what Google Wallet sends to the receiving machine is a code. It doesn't send any personal information about your credit card numbers or anything like that. And this is the same idea in that you would use this as an intermediary, and this particular service doesn't send your credit card information or any personal information. It's simply a code that's sent to the receiver. And so these are virtual cards, and there are companies that produce these. So if you are concerned about your privacy, you are concerned about fraud and online problems, then virtual cards actually are used, right? So
I used it extensively. And what you could do is, let's say you're buying an item for $25, you can set the limit on that virtual card at, say, $35.
Right.
And then when it's done with the 25, the most they can get out of you more than that is $10.
Right.
And they never get the information about your real card. They only get the number of this virtual card, and then it either goes away or you can reuse it.
Right. But I would say now, in looking at both this, I've done a lot of videos on tap and pay and using Google Wallet. In fact, one of my videos I made was the biggest videos. It's done over 100,000 views now. And it's all about Google Wallet, and this is the same technology. Google Wallet's free, right? Yeah. And so it solves all that problem, and you don't need a physical card or another company. Some of these companies sell you this, service, but the tap and pay on your phone with Google Wallet, same as Apple Pay, it creates the interface so that none of your personal data is sent to the receiving machine when you tap it, and I would just use that. But anyway, it was an interesting. I hadn't remembered. Yeah. So I thought, well, you guys must know it, eh?
Yeah. Well, before you go to the next article, there's a couple of things in the.
And I was going to add something too.
Okay. All right. Great. Just hold on.
I have a Capital One credit card,
mm-hmm.
and I use the app to manage it, and it gives me opportunity to create a virtual card when I need one.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's built right into the app.
It's built in. And I think that was mentioned in this article, Bill. You're right. Yeah, I think that was mentioned in this article. It's built right in there, eh? Yep. Sorry, did you say you use it?
I do use it. I just say get virtual card, so
Yep.
I can use that as the credit card to pay an online purchase.
Right. So if you go to a store though, and you want to, do you do the tap and pay on your phone, or do you?
Well, I should, but I don't. I forget.
Right.
And I only have my bank card on the phone. I need to put the others on there.
Okay.
But I have it set up. I usually forget to use it.
Yeah. Huey, there was a couple of comments you said?
Yeah.
Jolin says, remember to click the thumbs up button and support Tech for Senior. Thank you, Jolin. That's great. Yes, please do that. We always like that. That's great. Diane says, good point on virtual credit cards. Talk about it. So my question is really safer than a good point on virtual credit cards. Talk about it. So my question is, this really safer than a credit card? You have to remember, these are add-ons to your existing credit card. They're simply a way of cloaking your credit card number, name, and expiry date so that it's just a transaction code. So they do make it safer because that information is not being transmitted to the seller. It's just a transaction code, and that's all that's being given. So that's what makes it safer. They're not a replacement. It's an sort of an add-on. Is that the right way to explain that, you guys? What do you think?
Well, Diane's next comment about PayPal, basically PayPal is like a virtual credit card.
Correct.
Because they never know what credit card you're using.
Right. Good point, Bob. Good point.
And then the virtual cards too, they expire. They don't.
Yep.
It's a random generated number every time. So it just, as Ron says, mask your physical card.
Right.
Which they'll tell you, if your cashier asks what's the last four of your credit card, then you have to give them the number that is on your physical card. If they challenge it.
Right. So I hope that answers Diane's question. So it's not an actual replacement for your credit card. It's not another service. It's an add-on that you would use. Okay. Let's go down here. Did you hear about the battle to get people back into the shop rather than having them work from home continues on. And Dell Technology is starting in May. The company will no longer consider remote employees eligible for discounts on computer hardware or software through Dell. So you lose all your benefits. They're really trying hard to get people to come back to the office. So I thought
they got a lot of empty buildings they're paying for. They want to get back using.
Yeah. Now, did you guys see this? This is fascinating. Did you guys see this about the Jesus the spam, what's happening on Facebook? And this was now the story goes. Now, how did the story go again? Is this the right? So the story about this is you see this, there's a statue of Jesus, and it's got these shrimp attached to it. And what was the story? Facebook is full of AI generated spam, and it's probably its own fault. Floating and mixed, your relatives, all caps, politically brand, blah, 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 blah. These photos were AI generated, and they actually, what did it go? This interacted with huge numbers of people. They thought this was real, and this spawned other images coming out of this, and turned out to be a really big deal. And people thought this was real, and this spawned more and more debate, and it became this just AI generated image ended up a big deal on Facebook, and I thought it was interesting. It's an interesting story. Look at you can read it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it was what Bob said earlier. Fake images are going to be a big problem. Computer hygiene 101.
Why your computer needs a bath with antivirus soap. Watch the video. Interesting.
I think you can watch it this Monday on Tech for Senior. It's going to be on our list. There you go. Music. Oh, so this is a new one. Again, YouTube Music is testing out a feature that we should have had all along. And if you hum, can it find the tune?
Yep.
So now if if you've had that on, I guess it was on our Android or Apple.
This was a feature that was available, and they took it away. And I guess they're bringing it back.
So you hum a tune, and it finds it for you. I think that's pretty cool, eh? And this is all right. So this is an interesting one. It is Lacrosse is, of course, this has to do with Chromebooks, and this is an article about Lacrosse, which I've done a bunch of videos on. Lacrosse is your Chrome browser detached from the Chrome OS operating system on your Chromebook, and it appears that probably this next version or the version coming up next month, this will all happen. Now, this has been an experimental feature, and I've done lots of videos on it, and I have this on my Chromebook, but it's likely that the big change will occur in the next month, where when you reboot your computer and you get your next version of your Chrome operating system loaded, the Chrome browser will be an app. Rather, it won't be embedded in the system, your Chrome OS system.
And I'd like to make the suggestion. If you're using a number of browsers, you want to open all of them every once in a while, or each of them every once in a while, and double check and see if there's an update. I just did mine today. I had an update on Chrome because I've been using Brave as my browser. I checked Edge. That had already updated by itself, but then I went to Firefox, and it had a big update, as well as the DuckDuckGo browser. So if you use multiple browsers, but most of the time you're only using one, you want to make sure you go into the others every once in a while and update them.
I use Patch My PC, and it updates all of them. So once in a while, I run Patch My PC, and it updates all of the programs. That program can update up over 300 regularly used programs, and it never installs garbage, only does updates.
Is it free, Bob?
Yes.
Patch My PC. Oh,
Patch My PC.
Oh, cool.
Home updater.
He's been talking. Bob's been talking about it since before COVID, and when he used to come to the meetings around the country, he always mentioned it, and I still haven't installed it. Sorry, Bob.
Listen, it's top of the hour. We've had a.
Oh gosh, already?
Yeah, we've already gone. We've used up our hour. I want to thank, first of all, before everyone runs off, I want to thank everybody for coming and listening. We really do appreciate our audience. Please do the like and subscribe and give us a thumbs up. We will be back again in another week to do this all over again. If you wish, you can certainly pop over and watch us on our Monday show this Monday. It's a Zoom meeting, and for all those people waiting over on our Zoom meeting now for the show to start, we'll see those next Monday. And we do thank you. As you know, this show is recorded. And Diane says yes, thank you.
Whoops.
Diane says yes, thank you. I'm doing more research of these. Yeah. And Diane, I have a great video. Out on that, so you may want to look on our channel. Michael Daniels, thanks again, Michael, for your donation, and thanks for that. John says, thank you, gentlemen. Very good. And Steve says, patch my PC, thumbs up. Oh, maybe Steve's used it too. Well, that's cool. All right, that's great. Listen. We'll see everybody soon. Have a great day. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.